these two high school kids. One kid's name is Austin Metcalf, and the other kid's name is Karmelo Anthony. And Austin Metcalf is a white kid. Karmelo Anthony is a black kid, both under the age of 18, at a track meet. I think you guys all know the story. Austin and his twin brother allegedly went inside their high school's tent. Karmelo Anthony was sitting there, and I don't think they asked him to move. Pretty sure they told him to move. And testosterone, teenage boys, egos get in the way, and words were exchanged. Whether there were any hands was put on anybody, that hasn't come out yet. Most people have said Austin grabbed Carmelo's backpack and Carmelo's like, touch me and see what happens. Karmelo had a knife, stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart, killed Austin Metcalf. And now I knew when it happened. I said, I always refrain from jumping to conclusions till all the facts come out. I'm not sure all the facts will ever come out in this case because everything's so diluted at this point. It's disgusting how people will take the death of a teenage boy and the life of another teenage boy that basically is ruined over an impulsive, ego-driven confrontation on both sides. If Austin was the aggressor, Metcalf, and was being a bully, still does not give anyone the right to stab him in the heart. Stab him, period. I think the biggest thing here is, why did Karmelo Anthony feel the need to bring a knife to the track meet? And why was he so quick to be prepared to use it? Do these guys have history together? I've heard they might have known each other in the past. It's just sad all the way around. And it's so odd that this happens. And literally the day before it happened, the algorithms and how they work, I got a video on this guy was talking about restraint. How you got to have restraint in certain situations. And this is a perfect example of that. I'm the dad of two new twins. So this story kind of resonated on both sides. My twins are mixed, so society's going to see him as black. And then you had this white kid who was a twin that died. So on both sides, I'm just like, I'm putting myself in both parents' shoes. And from all intents and purposes, Karmelo Anthony came from a good home, a two-parent home. I'm not sure about Austin's home life. I mean, his mom and dad did speak. They seemed like they were decent enough people. But I hate the people that There's certain people on the internet, and I don't want to give them any shine, so I'm not going to say, on both sides, they jump to basically feeding their fan base. I mean, you got the people that are always pro-black, that are always going to be like, he was bullied, he was defending himself, and I'm like, how do you know? We don't know the whole story. How can you just get out there and type this stuff and put all this inflammatory shit out there and you don't know? On the other side of it, I can't stand the people that are just showing the picture of Karmelo with a gun. Whether it's real or not, I don't know. He's with his boys, and some are white. That's why it's not just a black and white thing. And then they'll post Austin with his school picture or in his football uniform. By all intents and purposes, everything I've read about both kids, where they weren't terrible human beings, they weren't just, I don't know. I don't think they were threats to society or menaces to the school. It just seemed like to me. I find it hard that this is the first time they've ever met. That's my thing. I just find that hard to believe. And two things can be true. at the same time, Austin Metcalf could have been a bully. He could have approached Karmelo Anthony in an aggressive manner and, just exhibited bully behavior. Him and his brother. And another thing can be true too. Still didn't deserve to die over that. You know how many times we see bullies that later on in life come back and was like, man, why was I acting like that? I was an idiot. I've seen it too many times. So this is it's just tragic. And those people that are just inflaming this are pieces of shit. Just pieces of shit. I never want these type of people at my show. I'm talking about on both sides. I'm talking about the people that are trying to just drag Karmelo Anthony, his family, the type of kid he is, because we don't know at this point. And same thing to people that are like, Austin Metcalf is a known bully. He deserved this. No, he didn't. He did not deserve to get stabbed in the heart. So, and the bad part about it is, these things when it goes to trial, they're not going to, the jury isn't going to care about any of that. They're not going to, I don't think Karmelo Anthony thought his life was in danger. It's like when I was in the police academy, there was when I used to be a cop in the Navy, we had this thing, it was an escalation of force. And it was those steps before you whip out your baton, before you whip out pepper spray, before you whip out your gun. There's certain steps you take as escalation of force. You can't just automatically pull out your gun. There has to be a reason. You got to feel like your life is in danger when you reach for the gun. This is the same thing. This is like an escalation of force. Like, you can't just pull out a knife. You just can't. The long-term effects is going to resonate. It's going to hurt Karmelo Anthony's brother and sisters and his mom, dad, his grandparents, his cousins, his aunts and uncles, and same thing on the other side. Austin Metcalf's family. It's like, that's gonna be hard to come back from. So I feel for both families. Whew. I couldn't even imagine. Can you imagine being, we always think about Austin Metcalf's parents. They lost their son senselessly. And that sucks. And then you go to the other side, you got Karmelo Anthony's family, who, all intents and purposes, have lost their son. And they might have did everything right. They might have, we always hear single parent homes. You got, when the dad's not in the house, the chances of the son joining a gang, getting to prison, the percentages just go higher and higher and higher. And this wasn't the case. His dad was in the house. For all intents and purposes, from what I've read, Karmelo Anthony came from a good home, had good grades, was a good student, was looking forward to going to college. You go to his Twitter page, it's typical teenage stuff. He's hyping up his friends that are signing off, getting letters for football and stuff like that. Football is definitely a sport. So I just can't stand grown adults. You have no sympathy for the other side? I'm just like, what kind of person are you? Because here's the thing. Those people that on either side that are completely vilifying Karmelo Anthony or completely vilifying Austin Metcalf, most of the time they're just doing it for clicks and likes, and I bet you they're monetized. So they know what they're doing. And they're using this platform, whatever it is, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, to put money in their pockets at the expense of Karmelo or Austin. And that's what's sad. If I get online and sometimes you read people that have like just really good insight, really good way to think about things. And as soon as I hear this black kid, this black thug or this white thug, and as soon as they bring race immediately into it, your point is lost to me. You know what I mean? So they always try to think of like Matthew McConaughey in The Time to Kill at the end of the movie when he gave his closing argument, and then he goes, now, what if she was white? When he was talking about the little black girl that got raped by the two guys and stuff. And this also makes you think that, what if the races was reversed? How would people react? What if they were both black or both white? That's a sad part about this. Yeah, it's just tragic. Both sides. I feel for both sides. Because they're just 17 years old. It's just like, God, this wasn't like he was. I felt like he's not like a threat to society, Karmelo Anthony. I don't feel like Austin Metcalf was a threat to society either, because people are like portraying him like he's some big bully and everything. So I just think you got teenage boys, egos involved, and the thing is show restraint. You got to show restraint. In the end, if Austin Metcalf and his brothers like, man, you got to move out of our tent. What if he would have just moved? Would have got made fun of a little bit? You ain't got to see these guys in another year. You're going to be out of high school. You ain't even after high school. After this track meet, you ain't got to see them again if you don't want to. At the same time, if you are going to bully people, let this be a warning to bullies out there. It's not worth it. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what's going through somebody's mind. So I'm telling you, I've always taught my kids, I'm going to keep teaching them, my boys too, walk away. Walk away from fights, man. I don't care who started. I don't care what they say about you. I don't care what they say about me. I know the big thing is, they call my mama something. You know who your mama is. You know who your dad is. Don't care what they think. They don't know us. So I'm always going to tell my kids, walk away. Walk away. I used to tell my boys, my oldest is like, you win a fight, your fist hurts. You lose a fight, your face hurts. Man, it's just let this be a lesson. To all the high school kids out there, junior high kids, somebody gets on your nerves, just ignore them, walk away. They always say, what sticks and stones can break my bones, and words can never hurt me. I'm like, yeah, there's nothing you can say that's going to incite me like that. I'm so past it. And I'm going to teach my boys that too. Say what you want. I don't care. I'm going to tell my boys, always walk away. Always walk away from a fight. Every single time. This just definitely validated my thought. If that was my son sitting there, I would tell him, Dad, this guy was bullying me, man. He told me to leave. And he got smart and he threatened to beat me up. I'm like, did you walk away? All right, where's he at now? All right, I don't know that dude. Let's go out to eat. Let's enjoy our dinner. Okay. I don't know. That's all I was going to tell my boys. Just walk away, man. This shit is not worth it at all. And this just validated it right here. So to all those that are on Karmelo Anthony's side, just really think about what Austin Metcalf's family is going through. And those of you that are on Austin Metcalf's side, please, before you start posting inflammatory stuff, think about what Karmelo Anthony's family is going through also. Because all this was about was ego and lack of restraint. That's all this was.